Hello and namaste. Welcome to just another session on School That Cares, a session where we introduce to you a educator who we believe cares for the education system, for the school, and who should be really rewarded in our hearts that he or she is an educator who cares. Yes, today we have with us a person who has 35 years of experience, who was till recent 4 5 years back the vice principal at a school called as GG International School, now is the principal at GK Gurukul for the last 4 years. May I introduce to you and welcome Miss Mayuri Mehta ma'am. Welcome, Mayuri ma'am. Welcome to this and thank you for accepting our invitation.
My pleasure, sir. Yeah.
Mayuri ma'am, I would like to begin directly with the first and most important question, which every career has, that what has been your inspiration to join this education field? Why did you choose to be an educator?
To be an educator, I have a history in my family.
Mhm.
Like in my family, we have educators and we have lawyers.
Oh,
I chose the former one, that I will be an educator.
mhm.
And my goal was, my aunt was a principal of a school. And so that was one objective in my mind. And she was a very good teacher, history teacher. So that was one thing, that yes, if I have to become an educator, I have to be a good one. So that was the motivation, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. With a family of educators and lawyers, I believe communication is just the back of your
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, like the family gatherings are just, they're just, each one is arguing with each other who's better. That's it.
Very true, very true. So,
Yeah.
being into this education, you started as a teacher and then you graduated further into becoming a supervisor and then a
Yes.
principal and a vice principal and so on. Has the
Yeah.
role really changed from being a teacher to a supervisor to the vice principal?
Yes. The role has changed. And I, like from a teacher to a supervisor, you start working for a team. The leadership starts, and you start getting the feel of leadership, what you have to do. We learn through the way. From there, the vice principalship, of course, added responsibilities and lot of learning during that phase also. And now, as a principal, I feel it was because I have come from there. I do understand my staff. I do understand a new teacher much better. I do understand every teacher at whatever level that teacher is on. If that teacher is, a senior teacher, or we have coordinators in school, we have vice principal in school. I understand them better because I've already gone through all that, and I empathize with them to certain points. So I feel that this journey has really, given me a lot of insight into what a principal should be. And I try to do my best.
Very, very true. Understanding the other person's needs and challenges really makes you a empathetic person and a leader who can understand the needs and challenges of his or her team members can really lead very wonderfully. As you became a
Yeah,
principal and
yeah,
vice
yes.
principal, do you miss your taking of lectures, the classes which you used to take, or is this a better role?
I, 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 I do miss going to the classrooms because I am tired, but I do go. I still teach. I walk in whenever I have the time. I have my periods allotted. Whenever I do have the time, I try to make keep myself free in that period, and I go to the classrooms and I be with the children and I teach them. I enjoy. I love teaching them. So I do that right now also. Even now, I'm teaching the children. 10th
Oh,
standard, I teach 10th standard geography, and I think I enjoy that part. I do. I would never want to stop teaching. That is
true. We say this in the corporate world that we make the best salesperson a sales manager, and that's the wrong choice to make. So
yes,
making the best teacher the school principal becomes to keep the best teacher away from the students, and the best teacher always
yes,
feels मुझे ना classroom में जाके
very
पढ़ाना है.
yeah, yes, very true, very true. So I do miss going to the classrooms more often than I can. But at the same time, I think at this stage, after so many years, I can understand and I make a difference to my teachers. I can, I not necessarily that I want to teach them how to teach, but there are things where I can guide them. There are things which we can, they can take it with my experience. So, I talk to them about my experiences and motivate them accordingly. So I think I am able to make a difference to certain lives,
True,
and
true.
that's what I like.
Very true, very true. Now, as you grow up in this line, are there certain new skills that a teacher has to learn to become a
So
supervisor or a principal? Can you help us with a few
to
skills?
become a leader, I think that is inborn to a certain extent. But yes,
True,
yeah, there are uh, there are certain attributes, or you should have certain attitudes that just becoming a leader is not mere dominance over others, or you just designating the tasks and just no, I am not that kind of leader. I i do i am with them at the ground level. Like even when they make the planner, I'm sitting with them when they give me things or any circular going, and I teach them, okay, this is not the language to be used. If a circular has to be going to a parent, you need to say something, but we have to say it in a very, very, what do you say, diplomatic way sometimes to the parents. So I teach these younger generation these things, and yeah, I think I'm doing my bit in that
true,
way. But
true,
yes, they need to learn their way to that, and I learned my way. I
true,
have it was not I was not born with these skills,
true.
but I have developed these skills through the day.
Very, very true. Certain qualities of empathy, of listening, of even teaching with
Yeah.
patience is important because not everybody learns in the first time. You
Yes.
have to be
Yes.
patient enough with
Yeah.
people.
And I'm learning even today. Like many
Very
things
true.
I have to learn even till now.
Very
And I
true.
am doing that.
Yeah. This is a very important leadership quality. We always talk about that. Keep learning. You have to be a lifelong learner.
Lifelong learner. Very true.
Yeah. Now, as you grow into these roles of becoming a leader, are there certain practices which you always wanted to do as a teacher and you started implementing it once you had that power in your hand or you became the principal?
Yes. For me, from the day one, I feel my students have to be good human beings. So the first thing, the values which we put in, and when I want them to be something, I want them to do something, I want them to follow something. I think I also have to do that myself. And looking at me, my teachers, my staff, they follow, and accordingly, these things trickle down. The values do trickle down to the students. So this is one thing which I firmly believe, that practice before you preach, and I do that.
So wonderful.
And I do, or means whatever I want my staff to do. If I want my teachers to work, I do that much work as much as they do.
Very true.
That is
Lead by example, what we call really. This is what you have very rightly said. And
yeah.
very true, values are really not taught but caught. So if they see
Yes.
Mayuri ma'am doing a certain thing, being
Yeah.
noble, being kind, they would be kind
Yeah.
to others. You cannot really beat a person to be kind.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
have to do that to exhibit. Your actions should speak, not your words.
true. Ma'am, as the days have changed, you have 30 years of experience, 35 in fact,
Mm.
3 decades, you
Mm.
have seen students come
Yes.
and go.
Yes.
Do you see
Yes.
a different generation now? Uh,
Absolutely.
bid and
Absolutely different
how
generation.
different are they? What differences? One,
When
two,
I
three, four.
started my career as a teacher, there was more of walk, chalk and talk. It was teacher oriented classroom. The children had to do this thing. But slowly I started realizing that this is not the way it should be done, because I was, following the others. Slowly the changes, I started adapting. Generations changed. Technology came in. Computer was not there. I did not know what a computer is.
Very true.
Slowly we had to, get into technology, start learning the technology. there was no course attended or something, but and we had to do the work. We had to, or maybe earlier we used to cut stencils. Now, if I tell the teachers what is, you'll have to cut stencils, they don't know what is that word.
Very
So
true.
like this word is new for them. But I used to cut stencils, and then I went to now we are typing. We were typing papers, and that is a big huge change. Technology is changing. The world is changing day by day.
True.
That was one big change, and then came the pandemic.
Very
The
interesting.
pandemic,
So,
now today, I'm talking to you on this Zoom call, but 2 years back, before March 2020, when the pandemic came started, the word Zoom was alien to me.
yeah,
I did not know there is something, and then we started surfing. Oh, there is something called Zoom. There is something which we can use, and yeah, so we have to. With the changes, we have to change. And today we are taking classes, online classes, so comfortably.
very
So
true.
these are the different changes happened. The generations have changed. The children have changed. Their thinking has changed from playing on the ground. Now children are more playing, the online gamings they are doing.
Very true.
So, and they don't like when we say, oh, go and play on the ground. But yes, I push my children a lot on the ground. So that is a different thing. And I push my parents also to push them onto the ground.
Very, very
When they
true.
say
Yeah.
2 hours, 3 hours of studies after school, I said, no, first let them go and play on the ground. Let them get fresh air. The
Yeah.
studies will happen
Very
automatically.
true.
So that is the change which has
Very true.
happened over the years.
True. So technology has been a very important thing from the chalk and the talk
Yes.
part of it
Chalk and
to
talk.
using technology now,
Yeah.
demonstrations, practicals, experiential learning is also cooperative learning.
No, a lot of experiential learning is happening. Now we have so much of technology we use in our classrooms. We have smart classes.
Yeah.
The and just how our heart is pumping, where is the artery and where's the aorta, or where is the, it's so easy for the children to understand. But in when I started my teaching, we had to actually draw and make the child imagine.
Imagine it.
But then I feel that imagination power was also there. They developed that skill, which this
True.
that skill is not with these children because they are getting everything ready made.
True.
But the understanding is definitely better because of the visualization which has come into.
Yeah. Yeah. Have the students' attitude of being a yes, ma'am, or a yes, sir changed to why, ma'am, or a why, sir kind of an attitude?
Yes, yes. I'll tell you, in the earlier days, they used to not question us as much.
Mhm.
But with a lot of government intervention coming in, and now that you cannot scold a child, you cannot touch a child.
Mm.
It's not that we want to beat the children or something like that. We don't want to touch the children, but uh, somewhere that discipline is vanishing. And even parents, the moment you a finger also on the child and the parent comes in, which our parents never did, or
Never
we as
did.
parents or never went to the school and questioned our teachers. But even during the online sessions which was happening, parents were there at the background, and parents would question the teacher online when there are 40 other children, 40
True.
other parents watching, and demeaning the teacher, which used to not happen earlier. But yes,
True.
this generation, I feel sad about these things, that these somewhere these values are missing.
Missing.
And what we can do about it, I say, where somewhere we have also gone wrong, because that generation, my parents who are current parents, that generation somewhere, some of them, of course not everyone, we get a lot of respect from
True.
say 80-90% of the parents. But some parents need to the, so we say they need more counseling than the children, they need to learn more than the children.
Very true.
So there is a difference, which
Very
is
true.
not happen when I started my career as a teacher. I
Very,
was
very,
not questioned that.
very true. My days, I remember my mom used to teach me at home. My teachers used to
Yeah.
teach me at school. We had a collaborative way of learning, but
Yes.
they didn't have a fight among us themselves, which nowadays
Mm.
sometimes we see that the
Yeah.
parent and
Yeah.
the teachers kind of have some kind of a,
That's the.
customer service approach, if I may say, or something like this.
Yes, yes, yes,
And that,
yes. They have taken that way completely.
yeah,
And what they do is they speak to the teacher in front of the students.
yeah,
So the students somewhere lose that respect for the teacher.
yeah.
The
And
student
then,
doesn't understand that the teacher needs that much respect, and
mm,
I should not be speaking like that, because if my parent is speaking, I can also speak.
yeah.
That
And
that
then the
that
learning also doesn't happen because the respect
happens
is not there or the environment is not. And yes, holistic learning where the parent, teacher, and the student learns together is one more
together.
NEP to 2022, I believe, something which they
Yes,
have brought in
yes.
that they can
NEP
learn.
20.
If that comes in, it would be a very wonderful thing to happen.
Yeah, yeah. NEP has the at least the plan on NEP. What they're telling us is really very good. It's only to be yet how it's going to be implemented
Yes.
and how we are going to do it.
Yeah.
That is,
If
yes.
principals are enabled to do it, I believe principals get that freedom to do it. They would be
We,
able
we,
to do a
we,
lot
we
of
are
things.
more than happy to, we are more than happy
Yeah,
because NEP is giving some wonderful opportunities to the children.
for the children. Yeah,
So that will happen. If that happens, it's going to be wonderful.
true. And taking this cue ahead from COVID, the lot of technology things which were put into place, like the video recordings and online classes and attendance, which was happening online, have any of those processes, practices stayed after COVID, or all of them are back into the
No,
bag?
no. We have to
None of
take the
them.
best of everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I have also taken the best of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like one example, I'll tell you if my there were uncertain days we had to close down the school. Like there's a strike or there was a flood or
True.
something.
True.
So the day I had to close down the school and keep the school off, I immediately converted the classes to online classes. A timetable was set for 3 to 4 periods, sent to the parents again through using technology ERP,
Wonderful.
and we took those classes. We did not let the day just go waste because we
Mm-hmm.
have to keep the class. So we have done that. So we have kept that. In my higher classes also, during vacation, we have to take extra classes
Mm-hmm.
where teachers are also reluctant to come. Parents are also reluctant to send the children.
True.
So I say, okay, go for your holidays, go from every day, give me 2 hours.
Very
We do
wonderful.
online classes
Very
and
wonderful.
we go on ahead with the syllabus because I want the syllabus completion in time. So yes, we have continued with this,
Very
uh,
wonderful.
but not on a daily basis. We don't
Not
want
really,
that on a
not
daily
required. Yeah,
basis.
not required on
That's
a
right.
daily basis.
Yeah.
I visit and interview a few other schools principals as well. They say they do a Q&A regular session on
Yes.
weekends, on Sundays. Say this Sunday it is physics available, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Teachers are
Ah.
available. You
Yes.
can do a
That
physics
that is
Q&A on this
something which
Sunday.
I can take it from there.
Yeah,
I can take
these
it
were so
from there.
wonderful principles and so wonderful ideas. I say this is something which is, and
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
parent teachers meeting, they say all parents cannot come. Whenever we invite
Yes.
around 30,
Yeah. Yeah.
40% parents come. So we have
Mhm.
given it, you can attend online. We have a computer
Online.
connected and they can see online visit. They have logged
Yes.
in, they do all the
Yeah.
stuff and it becomes easier
Yeah.
even for the parents.
Absolutely.
So,
I even have children who have, during this year after pandemic, many countries have opened up and the parents have, migrated to other countries.
yeah,
So we have given them that opportunity. You continue with us till the end of the year, so that a child finishes the year. They are, in touch with the class teacher and the subject
mhm,
teachers through, Zoom app, anything like that. And assessments we are giving them online, so the
wonderful.
child doesn't have to, waste that year also. So we are doing that for this.
Awesome. That's fantastic. You're really focusing on the parent and the child and providing them education
Yes.
accordingly. Uh, Please share with us some good practices, some best practices of your school, which which the other
Mhm.
educators could also pick up, which could be really useful
Yeah.
for them.
We there is something. Most all the schools have clubs, but club actually are you see our syllabus and a
Mhm.
timetable, and there is so much of uh, we have a fight over which period, which subject, which
Yeah,
period, etc.
push and pull.
So clubs are generally pushed towards after school activities or in the zero period activity or something. But I what I did was since last academic session, I made provision in my timetable 2 periods in a week for a club. We gave children choice of more than 25 clubs. We made groups
Wow,
like no class 1 and 2, three
25
and four.
clubs.
Yeah, we made these clubs and more than 25 club choice we gave to the parents and the students, of course,
Hmm.
to choose whatever club they want. So,
Wonderful.
and for that 1 hour completely, the child goes somewhere and does something of his or her own choice. And this was a great success. Throughout this year, which I have gone, the children are really very happy and very innovative things have come up. We've also taken sports, some of the sports, because some children are interested in sports. So we gave them options for sports. We gave them options for mathematics, different like Vedic maths and abacus, all these things. We gave them option in cookery. We gave them option of different kinds. So I think this is one thing which I'm happy that I started this club in my school, and it is a success, and I'm going to keep it in my curriculum clubs.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
because it is a part of the timetable, like parents also do not mind,
Mind doing
and
it.
so that so
So
this is one.
who teaches? Who leads this club? The teachers?
Yeah, we have we've divided, we have outsourced some of the clubs, like sports, like some sport, not all sports. We
Mm-hmm.
have a PE teachers who are taking some clubs, whereas the outsourced people are taking some clubs. Similarly, for these activities also, there are some outsourced clubs and there are some in-house clubs.
Wonderful.
So we have, and for each club, even if it is outsourced, we have kept a teacher coordinator for that particular club. So the
Wonderful.
teacher takes care of the attendance and the children's, all that part is
All
taken
right.
care by the teacher, but the teaching part and that happens by the outsourced person.
Wonderful.
So this is how we manage the entire thing. So
One
it's well, yeah, good, very
one
good. Yes.
one one more question. How did you come to this 25 clubs list? What was the thought process behind it?
Yeah. Yeah. Sports is one thing which, as a school, I will not be able to, make provision for different kind of sports in the school because of my time limit. I cannot extend my timings
True.
to after, like, it's 8 to 2:30. Beyond that, I cannot keep the school open, or I cannot,
True.
have increase my timetable.
True.
So sports, I wanted a lot of children to get exposed to different sports. Only then they will come to know whether they love the sport or they do not love the sport. So we
True.
try to have macro, like, we have chess, football, cricket, taekwondo, and other things. So that already, took up 6 to 7 classes. Then
True.
some parents are more academically, they want the child to be academically oriented. So keeping that in mind, we took up certain academy. We have fun with science, we have environment club, we have these clubs. So we took up those. Then music and dance. So coming to all that, it has, totaled up to
Total.
around 20
Kind
25
of
clubs.
kind of a holistic view of looking at
Hol-
everything.
Holistically, yeah,
Sports
yes.
is there, drawing, painting, arts comes in
Art is there.
later,
Art is there. In art, we took different kinds of art,
science,
copy
yeah,
painting, this painting, different. It's not just simple drawing. And
drawing,
then we also took up, these children at certain age, they appear for elementary drawing exams,
yeah.
elementary. So we took up training for that also as a club,
Mhm.
because otherwise we don't get time. So, those children who wanted to appear for these exams, they went into that club, and the teacher, focused for 1 year for teaching them how to appear for
Yeah,
that exam.
that's also interesting. And then students can choose it every year and change as well.
Yes, yes, they can choose. This year also they'll get a choice. Whatever club they want to choose, they can choose. They may
And they can
change the
keep
sport, they
changing
may
the
change the
clubs.
activity. Yeah.
And you just need some minimum amount of people in a club to be there.
Yes,
And
that I
that,
have kept. It would be a 30 or 40 children in a club. Like if it's on the ground, I can accommodate more children.
yeah,
But
if it
otherwise,
is
some places
in
I cannot accommodate.
classroom.
So I've given that number also to the parent in the beginning. I
Wonderful.
will accommodate so many children, first come, first serve base.
Yeah. And
So
age
then
group,
after that, your child will have to take up the next best
next
choice.
class. And age group as well, you must have clubbed, say first,
Yes,
second
yes.
together,
Age group
third,
one
fourth.
and two grade, three, four grade, five, six, like that grades we
Wonderful,
had.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That also really is this such a
Yes.
big project. How many students have been involved in these clubs totally?
Around 2,000 students.
Around 2,000 students.
Yes, yes.
Great work. Now I
And
can,
it's going very smoothly because of the planning which had happened initially. It's going very smoothly. I told you I've kept coordinators for every club. So the
sure,
teachers are taking care of that. So during
sure,
club time, the teachers are free. They don't have this. So I've given them that, a
sure.
responsibility that this club you have to take care completely.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's going very smoothly. There was no confusion, nothing.
Almost how many teachers involved in this project?
Around 60 to 70 teachers.
60 to 70 teachers. Wow. 60 to 70 teachers, 2,000 students. I can label you as project manager Mayuri Mehta along with the principal. True, multiple roles principals play, but this is something very interesting which all educators should know,
Yeah.
that yes, a principal is just not an educator who just takes care of people. No, they do
No,
project management as well at a very big way, with all planning, execution, risk management, and everything. Awesome. Any other thing which you like to share?
yeah.
This was
So
wonderful.
I think I should mention my annual concert this time.
Mhm.
We had this theme in mind that I wanted, Dashavatar, sorry, yes, 10 forms of Vishnu Dashavatar. I wanted, because I feel
Mhm.
somewhere children are losing out on mythology. They are not, and we have a theater team. We have outsourced theater curriculum for our children, which is also a part of the curriculum, which is there for every child.
Wow.
Every class has got a period, theater period.
Wonderful.
So I had given this responsibility to my Theatrica club, Theatrica team, that I want this annual concert and it should be. And ultimately, the outcome was so beautiful that we got a world record. We made world record. India has given us, maximum participation because all my children were a part of the annual concert, and we took mythological and we used 8 languages in the concert.
Wow.
Every dance which happened, my children have performed vocals also, even the music, even the instrumental, everything. Like I had 300 to 400 children just in music and dance. Then there were few children who were dancing, there were others who were acting. At the same time, we had children who had made the props. We had very
Wow.
huge props. And we had the art teachers and the team of students who made the props. And we worked for more than 3 months for
Wow.
the concert.
Awesome.
And then we had a team of students, 11th standard and 10th standard. We did not take them for the concert because they have to concentrate on their studies. We took them for management at the end. So every child was involved in some way or the other, and it was beautiful. And getting the world record was, it was just too great, good for me.
Yeah,
Like it
the
was
cherry.
some achievement
Cherry.
which we have made.
True, true, true. The
This
cherry on
was
the
another,
cake.
this is one of the best practices. Like, we have annual concerts, all schools have. But if there is some learning through the concert, learning not just we portray, but doing those things, making those props also was a learning for the children.
Yeah,
Managing the crowd and managing the stage was a learning for the children.
very
So at
true.
every stage, I have ensured that the child learns something.
Very true.
So that was something which I would like to think. And then we had another big event called as Educomb. So
Pardon?
in Educomb, what we had done was every child had made a project. We had given the
Mhm.
subject to the child, and it was not just presentation of the project, but like assimilating all the projects and connecting the projects to each other, making a story out of the project. And yeah, all the children were and though when they had to make projects, we had also considered them as their subject enrichment activity or multiple assessment. So we had marked them also on that. So they were doing both things. They were doing academics at the same time. They were doing something extra.
Something extra.
That was also a very big success for our school. So yes,
Wonderful.
I am
Two, two
thinking.
very
I think I am on the right track
wonderful,
for
wonderful.
molding the children.
Two very wonderful things. The first one, which you talked about the concert, I could recollect of Dr. Howard Gardner, multiple intelligences, how you could
Yes,
sieve in
yes,
everything from
yeah,
interpersonal skills of the 10th and the 11th standard students to communicate with people who are interested in arts, writing, or creating craft or something like this, and bringing about the behavioral things, management stuff along with it,
yeah.
arithmetic and everything. That's wonderful. And this second part of it, where we are really looking at students building those small projects and then connecting those projects together.
Connecting the projects to
Yeah,
each other.
the theme based things to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
these are those small things where students really learn
And
the
they'll
extra
carry
element.
the memories. They'll
Yes,
carry these memories
very, very true.
that we have done this.
We
Yeah,
have done this. One of the
yeah.
things which I in my engineering always remembered was those 3 months of learning. Kind of 3 months,
Mm.
you do a project, you learn, you do go to
Yeah,
the next, you learn,
yes,
you next, learn, you next. A
yes, yeah,
project
yeah,
kind of a thing
yeah,
which really happens. Very true. When you're talking to students in the learning part of it, they come till the 10th, 11th, 12th kind of, and then they go out of the school. Um, how do you feel, or what is that thought process that comes to your mind when the children are leaving you, or what do they say to you? Any thoughts on those, like the exit
yeah.
interviews?
Yes. Yeah, I just, when the children move out from the school, like I want them to be proud of the institution they have passed through. So to make them proud, I think it is our responsibility to give them so much that they'll look back and they'll come back to us. Of course, they cannot come back to learn because they've already crossed the 12th standard and gone. But yes, they should always be looking forward and coming back to us. I do, as I told you, I teach 10th standard students. So I do a lot of chit chatting with them, because if we are going to tell them, oh, I'm teaching you this, I'm teaching you this, I don't go do it in that way. Even during my when I'm teaching, I just go out of context, current affairs, this, that, and all that, and somehow I make them understand कि just academics is not, that is what I believe. Academics is just not which is going to be which should be our objective in life, or marks are not which should be the only objective. Yeah, marks do matter to get admissions in the various, but after a certain point of time, your values and your learnings which you carry with you, and that matters a lot. So I always try to see that my
Inculcate that.
children become, I want to them to become just good human being, if that one word, good human being,
True,
that
true,
is.
true. These good human beings, when they're in the teenagers, they have a lot of different emotions and their hormones are coming
Yes.
out and everything is
Mhm.
happening. As a principal, are you afraid of it? Do you enjoy that moment of these children? Do you help
I
them in
enjoy that.
some way?
I enjoy that. I enjoy the changes which I see into them, like, because these children are there with us from the younger ones, and they grow up and they grow up and they grow up. I enjoy the change which I see in them. And some go, some become bolder, some become shy. But yeah, when I'm talking to them on a one-to-one level, sometimes I don't call them and talk to them in my office or come and don't sit down, but maybe even in the corridor or passing phase, what you're doing, what have you done, this thing. So that connect is there. Like, I try and connect with the children, even with the younger ones or even the older ones. Maybe I do not know the names of all my 2000 children, but I know them by face. And that connect is there when they look at me, that I can see the twinkle in their eyes when I
Mhm.
speak to them. I feel that they are so happy that even one word from me makes their eyes glow.
True.
So that is it for me. I
That's
want the eyes to glow.
true.
So I do that.
That's yeah, that's that energy which is kind of being passed because of you having that good energy. Uh, these students, when they pass out and they want to become something bigger, some career kind of a stuff, what kind of a discussions, what kind of a guidance do you do for them?
Yeah. What we have done in our school since past 2 years, we are calling some professionals and speaking to them, making them speak to the children. So these professionals do tell them what are the pros and cons of that profession or how to go about it. Now,
Wonderful.
we being a very young school, we are just a 5-year-old school and we are into the 6th year
True.
of GK Gurukul is just a 5-year-old school.
True.
It started in 2017.
Just
So,
before the lockdown.
so I've already started doing this since last 3 years. So I had today I have just till class 11th. Next year, 23, 24 will be my first batch of 12th standard students.
Right.
We bring these people to them in the same, and we also do some online. Some people may not be able to come, so we teach them online. At the same time, I have started my three teachers are doing career counseling course. So
Wonderful.
the school is providing them
In-house.
that opportunity.
Yeah.
The school is giving them that, and they are doing a career counseling course. So maybe next year they'll finish the course and we will start a career counseling cell in the school, proper career counseling cell in the school.
Very
So
wonderful
this is one small we
initiative.
attempt, to guide them as to what they should do. But yes, we keep talking to them like engineering and medical are not the only two professions. IT is not the third profession. But I keep telling them somebody is interested in photography, somebody is interested in dance, somebody is literature, make career in that.
True.
So we try to talk to them about different careers, not only the mainstream careers.
Very, very wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that career conversations have begun in the schools and that professionals really come and talk to students.
Yeah.
And there are so many 400, 500 different top careers which you could really look at, and 30, 40 different career subcategories which students get aware of. Talking about parents, as the principal, what do you expect the parents should do with the teachers hand in hand, with the school hand in hand
Yeah.
to make the best for the students? Any suggestions, any inputs for the parents?
Yeah. I just, when I speak to the parents, I just tell the parents that you trust the teacher, trust the school.
Very important.
Uh, yeah. If you trust us and trust the school, we have that, we take the responsibility. I also tell them, like, don't send the children unnecessary for any coaching classes or any tuitions.
Tuitions.
Why do you want to send a child for tuitions?
True.
We are there, my teachers are there, we are there, we are taking the responsibility, or the complete responsibility. And if some children are not up to the mark, we are there to take remedial classes for your child also. So that is one thing I just tell them, just trust us and do that. Apart from that, I tell them not to. Some parents have got a lot of they feel my child should get do this, do that, this many marks only, 90%, 95%. And just let them be. They're children. Just
True.
let them be. That is
Very
it.
true.
Give
Very
them all the freedom they have. This is the time. You and me were not going to go on the ground and play, but they can play. So let them make use of that time. So this is, yeah, I keep talking to the parents accordingly.
wonderful. Wonderful. Very true that parents should trust the school should trust the parents. It's kind of a two-way
Yes.
street which comes up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a bond which you build. It's certain things. Playing a devil's advocate, parents sometimes say, "Ki, oh, I know what is best for my child.
For my child. Right,
Uh,
right, right. I know what is best. I understand. I know my child.
I
You
know
don't
my
know my child.
child more. You don't know my
Yeah.
child." And so they want to
But
give
children have got,
suggestions.
sometimes a different personality in front of student, in front of
Yes,
parents, and front of us.
in
In
front
school,
of
they are different people, and there
yes,
they are different. We
very
try
true.
to make them understand. We have counselors. We try to, counsel the parents also. It's not always that the children are what they portray in front of you. They're different elsewhere.
True, true. One of the principals I was discussing this with, she brought up a very, very wonderful thought. I'll just put it across to you and do help
Yes.
me how it is. She says, when we are talking, even during the admission times, we talk to parents about what our school philosophy is, what we do, and we'll try to understand their parents' philosophy. What do they really do at home? What is their culture? What is their ethics, kind of a thing? And then we say, how much of it does match? If it doesn't match a lot, then we say, sir, do you really want to take admission in our school? Because we cannot deny you admission. You have a right to education. But our philosophies are a bit different. Like some parents
Yeah.
are very disciplined. They want everything to be in discipline. And the principal which I was talking to, she says creativity is more important. Exploration
Correct.
is more important. If the student
Correct.
comes
Yeah.
in late, I am fine with it. But the student should
Mm,
have a reason. What productive work was he doing? Where was he involved that he did not come to class and he was doing something good in the recess? I'm perfectly okay with that.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do not know. What are your views on this discipline versus creativity?
Yes.
And
Yeah. Children have to be one. When we say discipline, I don't mean I don't understand. Yeah, I'm telling you, keep quiet in the class, don't make noise in the class. I don't want that kind of discipline. But when the teacher is teaching, then you pay attention. That discipline I want.
very true.
I don't want my classrooms to my corridors to be quiet, pin drop silence in my school. No, I don't like it at all. I
True.
want noise in my school. But
Wow.
that noise, I said, should be productive noise in the school.
Yeah.
I want to hear children playing on the ground. I want to hear them all the time. I want to hear the children singing. I want to hear the children, playing instruments. I want that kind of noise. And I just want the child to be focused. That discipline the child should have.
True.
That part, that is what we try and explain to the parents also. He don't unnecessarily, just keep on academics. No, they will study. They will do good in their lives also, their careers also. They will do very good. But if these things, what they're going to get now, they will not get later. So let them be. So yes, that kind of discipline I want. I don't want discipline like keep quiet, don't talk. No, do talk.
Do
Speak to
talk.
each other. That
True.
way also they learn so much speaking
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah.
They will discuss some movie which they have seen. They'll discuss some book which they have read. So the other person is going to pick up something from there.
Yeah.
So
Communication skills is the most common
yeah,
required employability skill.
yes.
You really need
This is
to.
one skill which is there.
Yeah.
Life skill. It's a life skill.
It's a life skill. You really need them to have it. Uh, any expectations you have from parents for their kids, for the school, which they should, other than the trust element, which you very importantly said,
Yeah,
what they should do
expectations
with the
only that
kids, what they should do
don't
with the
have.
kids, like they should spend time, they should do certain
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. Some children parents are not able. Some parents are not genuinely able to give them time, and some parents are not giving them time. I don't want to elaborate more on this
True.
thing, but at least see what your child is doing in school. Look at the books. Don't wake up at the end of the year and say, oh, this is not done, that is not done. Giving time to the children, yes, that is what I want the children, parents to, have, because that is something. And these days, a lot of parents, the generation is such, or I don't know what, there's a lot of disputes between the parents, and the children are witness to that dispute.
True.
So,
Emotional
because I
time.
have many such cases, and when the children are witness to those disputes, it affects the child somehow or the other. Parents don't understand that part. It affects the child. So, at least not in front of the children. And don't speak ill about the school and the teachers in front of
Very
the
true.
children.
Very true.
This expectation I have from the parents.
Very important. Spending time with the kid is really important, and especially doing something with the kid or just being there with the kid, asking the
Being
kid,
there with
telling
the
the
kid.
kid about the things. No emotional trauma. Very, very important. When the child experiences pain, and that too a fight between his both loved ones,
Yes.
that's really
Yes.
bad. Uh,
Yeah.
Very,
The
very
child gets torn between two parents
two
at times,
parents.
where do I go?
True. And the child can only learn from a role model if the teacher is set to be a role model. If the teacher is demeaned, then definitely
Yeah.
the learning stops happening. Very, very true.
Yes.
Ma'am, many educators are also watching this video, and any message which you would like to give to them, the people who are deciding whether should I get into the school education or not, to the people who really want to do something great into education, some message for them.
Yeah. As we say, this is a noble profession. It truly is. The love which you get from the students, it is incomparable. So if you're in for that, please come to this profession. But if you are, and like it's unfortunately, it is not a very well paid profession in our country, at least.
True.
You have to be here for the love of the profession, for the love of the children. And so the before coming in, decide what you want in life, whether you want that part or whether you want the money part, or whether you want a 9 to 5, a corporate kind of this thing. Because even we see, sometimes even my teachers who say, ma'am, I cannot continue. I feel very sad, because after working for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months in the academic session, if a teacher is going to just, jump to some other school, the children are already attached to her or him. So don't leave the children like that, at least for that academic session. So in the beginning of the year, I do, in my orientation with the teachers, when I talk to the teachers, I say, give that 1 year. If you want to continue, continue at least for the complete academic session. So that kind of commitment is required if you want to come into this profession. It's a very nice profession, but it's a lot of hard work. It is not just, go teach and move out. There's a lot of hard work. You'll have to do a lot of research on your own. Children are very smart with technology. You have to be above the children. You cannot um, say, I do not know, because children know more than you. These days, definitely the children know more than the teacher.
True.
So you'll have to make your place in their heart for yourself. If you have that skill, then come into the profession and come with wholeheartedly. Come to the profession wholeheartedly, not with this thing. Okay, because I've not got a job there, I will do this job for some time. Don't do that kind of
Don't do that.
juggling between the professions.
Very true.
Once a teacher, always a teacher. If you're a true teacher, you're always a teacher.
Very, very true.
So that.
Few very wonderful points you said, ma'am. I'll just summarize them. One is come here for the love of the students and not just for the money. Though some
Yeah.
teachers choose teaching because they find it an easy profession, something which is,
Easy profession.
yeah,
Yes.
but it really isn't. So for all those educators who are outside the line and feel ki, okay, I'll go in the morning 8, come
Mhm.
back at 2:30 and my life is sorted.
We come back.
Please,
No,
it
it is
is
not there any.
it
It's
is
not
not
like that.
that. The
It's
school
not like
ends
that.
at 2:30, starts at 8, but the educator's life does not end at 2:30. It goes
Doesn't end.
beyond.
No. Yeah.
There is a lot of
It
stuff
has.
that the teacher has to do, and it goes beyond. And you said one very wonderful point: once a teacher, always a teacher. I always look at teachers who say, I am a teacher in school and now I have my own life, I can do anything and whatever.
No, no,
Not
no, no, no.
really.
You
You
have
cannot.
to. You
Uh,
have what you say. eat, sleep, drink, teaching. That's it.
Yeah, and
Your mind has to be there all
yeah,
the time.
and you're a role model. If a teacher is seen doing something which is really not socially acceptable, even the students are smart enough and the parents are smart enough to point fingers in that direction,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that really creates, and that is learning as well for the students.
Yes.
Um, these two things are so wonderful, that message for the parents one and message for the educators, that I'm tempted to ask Mayuri ma'am, what are you and how are you as a person? If you are not a principal, then what are your likes, what are your dislikes, what are your preferences, how is your family?
Mm,
If you would
yeah.
love to share some
Yeah.
part of it here.
Uh, one thing, I used to be a very short tempered person
Oh,
as a youngster.
that's
But as I
revealing.
told, I learned the skills, I
Mhm,
acquired the skills, I developed the skills.
mhm.
I am no more that. I have patience.
Wow,
I do. So this is one thing which I learned. That is me. Honesty is me.
wow.
I cannot, when I'm speaking to you, I cannot say something sugar coated. Oh, you are so good, and then turn my back and say, "Yeah." I cannot be too this thing. So sometimes people tell me also, "Ma'am, ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए." But no, that is me. I want to be what I am. If somebody's playing games with me, also I wouldn't know, and I would trust that person. So, and I don't let anybody in my school, at least, do that. No politics in my school.
No political messaging.
Of course, I try as much as possible. There should be that. If should be complete transparency in whatever we do,
True.
and I take suggestions from my subordinates also. If I
Mhm.
have to write something or if I have to sing, I'll definitely ask someone to cross check whether I'm right or wrong, because I cannot be right all the time. So this is what I am. I trust people very easily. I think I am sincere in what I do in my work, and I practice like I do that many hours of put in that many hours of efforts like I would like anybody else to do. Yeah, and my family, yeah, I've even a grandchild now because I have got that missing, and I have four generations living in a family right now with my mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, myself, and my grandchild. So
Wonderful.
that is me. I am managing my home front also, though being a
Wonderful.
teacher, even when I'm at home.
Very true.
This is
Very
me.
true. Very true. Yeah. Living those values, talking about it, and being a part of it, even in the family and at workplace, is something which is the transparent you, the noble you, as we call it.
Yes.
It was very wonderful speaking to you, Mayuri ma'am.
Yeah, thank you
Would
so
you
much.
like
Same
to?
here. I did not think I would be able to, answer you. It was a little of the thing, but yes, I think we went with the flow because your questions came very nicely to me. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
And you guided me in the right direction
It's
to
not because
speak.
of me. It's not because of me, ma'am. We had a wonderful chemistry, I would say, a synchronization that really went through. I loved the way you answered. Would you like to give a
Thank you so
message
much.
from the GK Gurukul school point of view to the parents or someone, if as a last message conclude?
Okay. Message. We have a tagline: come to learn, leave to serve. So we want the children to come to us. We are going to mold, when they come to us, they're very like clay. We will mold the clay and they will leave to serve the country in
Wow,
whatever way they can, whatever small bit, big bit, whatever way. So this is one thing which I want all my children to do: come to learn, leave to serve.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. What a wonderful line this is. Come to learn and then leave to serve, so that you propagate whatever you have learned further and you help other people to get something good out of it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mayuri ma'am. It was wonderful
Thank you
speaking to
so
you.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you
And
so much.
namaste.
Namaste. Dhanyavad.
It was wonderful speaking to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.